Welcome to Dejobnik.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, spokesperson, Israeli journalist besides. Tal, I'll pick up on that conversation, the Jewish vote that could be splitting here and all over this war. Are you surprised by the divide?
Well, I'm not going to weigh in on American politics.
Please, feel free.
No, for very obvious reasons. But what we're seeing is that there's an overwhelming support to Israel in this war over Hamas. We're seeing it in American polls. There is an overwhelming
But are you
support.
concerned it's not as overwhelming and that in a weird way, whether it's Hamas or whatever, seems to be getting a PR advantage here?
The American
and the media
people
is
don't like
glomming
terrorists.
after it.
The American people don't like terrorists, and they appreciate.
So you think there's a disconnect?
They appreciate the right of self-defense, and this is what Israel is doing, exercising its right of self-defense.
So what did you make of Chuck Schumer coming out and saying there's got to be new elections? Now, Joe Lieberman, Lord rest his soul, one of the strongest interviews I had with him was just a little over a week ago when on this subject, he really went after Schumer for that you know, we should never intervene in a sovereign state's elections, no matter who's in charge. But he did. And the administration then comes to say it was a brave move on the part of Schumer.
Joe Lieberman was 100% correct. We do not intervene in American politics. We expect to be treated with the same respect.
Do you think that was viewed as a threat? Was it viewed as a threat in Israel?
But you know what? It's not about the prime minister. It's not about politics in Israel. It's not about the IDF. It's a decision that we took as a nation, that we're going to live, and that Hamas will not live another day, because we've done that for far too long. There's not going to be any compromise on our security. You know that Hamas has been in power for more than 16 years in Gaza. What have they brought on the Palestinian people? Just misery.
So what do you do? What does the prime minister do? Now, he's back and forth on this delegation coming to the U.S. And when things are really the most tense, that's it. I'm going to scrap it. The United States, you know, steps out of a vote that essentially says get a ceasefire going immediately. First time that's ever happened.
That was disappointing.
To put it mildly, right? But it looks like this delegation is going to meet. What's the latest on that?
So it's going to get rescheduled. It wasn't right to send the delegation at the time when it was supposed to meet in Washington. I can't tell you exactly when it's going to happen because we haven't scheduled it yet, as far as I know. I don't know if it's going to take place in Washington or Jerusalem or some.
Oh, really? So there might not be people coming here. It might be, what is this, like a
I have no,
video
I really don't,
conference?
I don't, maybe some security.
Yeah.
I really don't know at this point. But
well,
so
why
the
did Benjamin
purpose,
Netanyahu change his mind on it?
Because it would have sent double the wrong message to Hamas. You know, the U.S. abstention at the United Nations, we were disappointed by it because it decoupled the two important issues, you know, of releasing the hostages in exchange for a ceasefire in the fighting. This is exactly what Hamas wants. They want a pressure on Israel that will put an end to the war and let them live another day, rearm, regroup, and you and I will have this conversation again because they will carry out another October 7 massacre. We don't want that. We saw it as a change in the U.S. approach since October 7th. We are very glad for the clarifications that came from administration officials afterwards.
Would you prefer a Republican president?
I'm not going to weigh in on American politics. And also, you know, I think really it's not about politics here.
Are you disappointed in this president?
We're disappointed by the decision at the United Nations. Obviously not. We're very thankful for President Biden, the Biden administration. They have, you know,
he called the shots on that.
He called Hamas sheer evil, Neil.
But
sheer
he called
evil.
the shots on that vote that you don't like.
He said that Hamas are worse than ISIS, and he's 100% correct about it. He came to Israel to stand by Israel in Israel when the war began. So we're very grateful, and we're grateful for the American people for the support, for the moral clarity that you guys have been demonstrating, and it's really important because this is the right message that we should send. People out there have to understand that when pressure is applied on Israel, being used as leverage on Israel against Hamas, I mean, it's incentivizing their sick methods of using civilians as human shields, of stealing aid from civilians. This is what it's doing.
All right. Well, watch very, very closely. Tal, be safe yourself and your family. Tal Heinrich, we'll keep monitoring this and where these talks or wherever are going to be held, but they are going to be held.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Dejobnik signing off.